Hey everybody, Sam Dog Infamous 253 coming at you guys with Dallas Stewart. Dallas, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Yep, 8-5 in week 13. Now we are on to week 14. It has to be the temporary list right now. I had to write it down because someone's up with the printer, but got the ink flushed. So once we get the list printed for that, we'll move all the marks to the printed version of this. I had to write it down for once tonight. So yep. Anyway, let's get into the week 14 picks. First, we're going to start out with our game. We got the second matchup between the Seahawks and the 49ers. We were in a tough matchup with Dallas, and we were hanging in there for a while, just costly penalties and, man, wasted away DK Metcalf's best performance and a costly Lockett drop, a costly Myers missed field goal, and just going 0 for 3 on fourth downs against the Cowboys. That was a tough loss. Meanwhile, the 49ers just took it to the Philadelphia Eagles. They definitely got their revenge, and they're looking like the team that we expected them to be in the first 5 weeks. I mean, granted, when they went on their 3-game losing streak, they had all those injuries to Debo and Trent Williams.
Yeah, they've been rolling since the bye week.
Yeah, they needed that bye week really bad, and now they're looking like the team that's going to be, we already knew they were Super Bowl contenders, but let's see how far they can really take it. And, we've seen crazy things in the league too, where if a team got a rematch in the playoffs, where that team that lost in the regular season or got blown out in the regular season got revenge too. Prime example, Buccaneers got swept by the Saints in 2020. And then in the divisional round, the Buccaneers got their revenge and they went on to win the Super Bowl. Another example, 2021, Rams getting swept by the 49ers during the regular season. Then the Rams got the rubber match in the NFC Championship game and won that and went on to win the Super Bowl. What's another
Yeah,
prime example?
can't really remember right now.
Rams losing to the Saints during the 2018 season, and then they beat them on that crazy no call in the NFC Championship game in New Orleans to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's some
yeah.
examples of that, but will there be a rematch between the Niners and the Eagles? I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens come playoff time, But man, I got to give props to the Niners for the way they played, though.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, but we know who we are this year too. I mean, I'm just happy we were able to compete in that game against Dallas, and we almost had a chance to win that game too. We had our chances to win, but we just blew it at the end. But I just hope we can at least be competitive against the Niners, but I feel like the Niners are still gonna complete the sweep on us again. So I gotta unfortunately take San Francisco again, but hope we can be competitive. But it might be worse than Thanksgiving for all we know too. But I gotta take San Francisco again.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to take San Francisco. They are just clicking on all cylinders again right now. I think there's going to be a carryover effect for the Seahawks after that tough loss. Yeah, I would love to at least be competitive
Yeah.
like we were against Dallas, but I could see this being like the Baltimore game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just hope I don't have to turn it in the second half.
Oh yeah, you and me both. But even now we're on the outside looking in, and even if I wouldn't be pissed even if we didn't make the playoffs because it would only mean it raises up our draft position a little bit higher. But
Yeah,
we'll see. We got a lot of moves we got to make this offseason, and obviously one of those moves has to be who we're going to cut, free up some cap space, and what we're going to spend that cap space on, and of course drafting. And of course we got to start with drafting that next franchise quarterback, whoever it may be. We'll see.
yeah.
A lot of good options in this upcoming draft.
This is game 3 of the 4-game gauntlet, and
Yeah.
so far our most competitive game in the 4-game gauntlet was the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Man, that was a really tough one to let slip away.
Oh yeah, it was, and especially obviously that Rams game too, which pretty much started this losing
Yeah, we
streak.
easily could have won 2 out of the last 3 and been in a much better position.
Yeah, but we're not, and that's what it is. All right, now let's go back to the beginning and let's start with Thursday night football. We got the New England Patriots take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Patriots getting shut out by the Los Angeles Chargers 6-0 and holding their opponents to less than 10 points and yet still losing. That's how bad the Patriots are. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Steelers got blown out at home by the Arizona Cardinals. James Conner had the ultimate revenge game, and boy, did he deserve it with the way that he played. He played a great game against his former team.
He sure did.
Yeah, Steelers are now, and how pissed was Yinzer Mack at his post game when you saw it?
He was actually not as pissed as I thought he'd be.
Yeah, it's kind of like us, not being as pissed, about how knowing what we're going through with our team too. But Pittsburgh Steelers, New England Patriots, Belichick versus Mike Tomlin. Who knows? It'll be the last time that those two ever face off, depending on what will happen this offseason. But oh man, Patriots are just so bad. Steelers, I don't.
Patriots became the first team since the 1938 Chicago Cardinals to lose 3 straight games, giving up 10 or fewer points.
Yeah,
That just says it all right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers to bounce back after that just embarrassing loss.
Even with
at home
Trubisky as their
to the lowly Cardinals.
even
With I still favor Trubisky over Bailey Zappi.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a toilet
This
bowl.
used to be like a marquee game, and like it used to be like one of the games of the season, and now it's just an absolute dumpster fire at the end of the year.
Oh man, that's crazy.
If you're New England.
Oh damn, that's crazy.
This used to be a marquee matchup every year.
They
used to hype this game up.
Yeah, now this game lost all of its hype, and I can't believe it's a toilet bowl on Thursday Night Football.
Even though somehow the Steelers are they're the worst 7-5 team I've seen.
Oh, by far and away, yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Houston Texans taking on the New York Jets. The Jets lost 13-8 to the Atlanta Falcons, and the Houston Texans just hung on by the tip of their chin and game-winning interception on 4th down to hold off the Broncos to beat them 22-17 in an incredible game. Thank God we got we had a red zone week for that, because that was just an incredible game to watch.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and CJ Stroud, I mean, he's had some struggles, but he's still looking like the rookie of the year, in my opinion, too. I mean, he just did enough. Texans did get screwed out of a scoop and score, though.
Yeah.
When the refs did blow it dead, but didn't matter because they were able to pull it off in the end. I gotta take the Texans to keep it rolling over the New York Jets, though. Give me the Texans.
Yeah, give me the Texans to keep it rolling and get to 8-5. I think they're going to carry momentum from that win last week against Denver over.
I think so too, man.
And they're still very alive in the AFC South.
Yeah, we don't know the severity of Trevor Lawrence's foot injury from last night when the Jaguars lost to the Bengals, but the Bengals losing, that definitely gave. But the Jaguars losing, that gave the Texans some life last night.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we got the Los Angeles Rams going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. The Rams were in a bit of a battle with the Cleveland Browns, but they were ultimately able to pull away in the end. And the Baltimore Ravens are coming off of the bye week. And who do they play before going in their bye week? Oh, wait, they played the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. They won 20-10 on Sunday Night Football.
That kind of ugly 20-10 win.
Yeah, they had an ugly 20-10 win, but now the Ravens are well rested, ready to get back on a roll, and I could easily see them possibly taking the number 1 seed if Miami doesn't take it, but Ravens are rolling, and you know what? I'm going to pick them to continue it. Give me the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson to just run all over the Rams and for their cornerbacks and that tough defense is shut down Kupp and Nakua and their other big weapons. Give me the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, give me the Ravens to end the Rams' 3-game losing streak and to drop them
winning streak.
500. Yeah, give me the Ravens to end the Rams' 3-game winning streak and to drop them below 500.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the NFC South Toilet Bowl. We got the Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr injured again. No surprise there. Carolina Panthers still sucky as ever. They freaking barely just lost to the freaking where'd the Panthers? To the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were in there for a little bit. That was a crazy game, but let's be real. They weren't beating Tampa, but they made it interesting for a while, but Tampa ultimately pulled away at the end, barely escaping them.
Pretty terrible weather, too.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Atlanta Falcons barely squeaked out of MetLife Stadium with a 13-8 win. You said that was the second one in history during the red zone reactions, right?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, because you said the last one was when the 49ers beat the Bengals in 2011, right?
Yeah.
by that same score. Yeah. Whoo, I gotta go ahead though. This is this is gonna be so tough. This is a crazy one, but I favor the Saints more than the Panthers. The Panthers are just gonna continue to just gift wrap that number one pick for the Chicago Bears, and it officially is just gonna be put under that Christmas tree after this week though too, and it'll just continue. The Panthers, that one win against Houston, that's their only win this year. They're just so bad. Give me New Orleans.
Yeah, give me New Orleans to get the sweep against Carolina. Yeah, they're just better than Carolina. No doubt is the worst team. I could maybe see them beating Tampa in week 17, but that'll be it as far as wins goes. I could maybe see them getting the split against Tampa.
All right,
but they probably finished 1-16.
Yeah, most likely. All right, up next, we got the Indianapolis Colts going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. The Colts barely pulled it out against the Tennessee Titans in overtime. In Nashville. That was one of the best games of the week, in my opinion, was that Colts Titans game. Meanwhile, the Cincinnati Bengals, another great game too last night. That could have been another great game of the week. The Bengals with Jake Browning take down the Jacksonville Jaguars. Granted, Trevor Lawrence got hurt. That game went to overtime, and that was crazy. That I'll tell you what, the Bengals lucked out on that holding call and that big play. The Jaguars hit the Ridley inside the 5, that big holding call, and they were able to get it done to freaking force a punt and then drive downfield and set up McPherson for that game-winning kick. But they were fortunate enough to get that holding call.
Yeah, they were.
That was the backbreaker for the Jaguars, in my opinion, was that hold after CJ Beathard hit Calvin Ridley on that 40 some odd yard pass into inside the 5-yard line and just wiped it away like that. That's a tough way to lose if you're Jacksonville, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo. I mean, this is going to be an interesting one, but I'm going to go ahead though, and yeah, Colts and Bengals. Man, what do you think on this one? You want to go first on this one, Dallas?
Yeah, this is a pretty tough one. I'm gonna go with the Colts to keep it rolling.
Yeah,
they're still alive now in the AFC South.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Indy as well, man. Minshew, just the way that he led that game-winning drive, man, and hitting Michael Pittman.
I think the Bengals are gonna have a little bit of an emotional letdown after that upset win last night.
Oh yeah, I think so. I agree. But that was a hell of a
one. Jake Browning played good.
That was probably the best game that he'll have in his NFL career, and probably the only good game he'll have in his NFL career.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The Buccaneers barely squeaked it out at home in pouring down rain against the Carolina Panthers, and the Falcons squeaked out that 13-8 win against the New York Jets. The crappy NFC South race continues right now in favor of the Atlanta Falcons. This is just, oh man, can it get any worse for this division? When will that division be good again?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been bad for a few years now.
Yeah, I'm taking the Falcons though. Again, I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Falcons as well to maintain their lead in the NFC South. I just think they're a little bit better of a team than Tampa.
Yeah. Ooh, all right. Up next, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns. Jaguars with that crazy overtime loss to the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Cleveland Browns losing on the road with Joe Flacco as their quarterback to the Los Angeles Rams. They were competitive in that game. They just ultimately could not get it done and fell ultimately short as the Rams were able to pull away. Oh, man, but what is the severity of Trevor Lawrence's injury? Someone let me know in the comments, like, how long is Trevor Lawrence going to be out for, or if he's going to somehow try to find a way to get back to this game. But that looked pretty bad, though, from when he went down.
Yeah, I think it was a high ankle sprain. We'll see how many weeks he misses, but I don't think anything that's going to cost him the season.
Yeah. And obviously
the Browns wasn't a good sign, him getting helped off the field.
It wasn't. And then obviously the Browns still have a good defense, though, but whew, man, this is another tough one.
A backup bowl.
A backup bowl. I gotta slightly favor Joe Flacco though in this one though. He looked like he was making some good throws in that game early on against the Rams though. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm actually call me crazy. I'm gonna give the edge to Cleveland here.
Yeah, even though the Browns are banged up as well, I slightly favor them. Joe Flacco over CJ Beathard.
Are you gonna go Browns as well?
Yeah, I mean, if the Jags had Trevor Lawrence, this would be a no doubter. I'd
Oh
pick Jacksonville, but they don't.
yeah, I would go Jacksonville as well if they had Lawrence, but I'm gonna lean Cleveland and the veteran experience. But that will be very interesting. Wait and see what kind of news we get on Trevor Lawrence, though, too. Hope for a speedy recovery for him, though, that's for sure. All right. Up next, we got the Detroit Lions going to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bears. The Detroit Lions, that game, they were looking like they were going to blow out New Orleans, and then the Saints made it very interesting. But the Lions ultimately was able to squeak it out at the end. Just a little scare for the Lions, and they were able to pull that off against New Orleans. And the Chicago Bears last week,
They were on a bye, and then didn't they have that 12-10 game on Monday night against Minnesota?
yeah, where they beat, yeah, that's right, they beat Minnesota on a walk-off field goal. Yep, but Lions are still rolling. I expect them to keep it rolling. Give me Detroit.
Yeah, give me Detroit to get to 10-3. Yeah, they still maybe. I mean, they're still, I guess, in the mix for the number 1 seed.
Oh yeah.
Them in San Francisco and Philadelphia.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
With that slip up that Philadelphia had against San Francisco.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. All right, up next we got the Minnesota Vikings going to Las Vegas to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. The Minnesota Vikings they're coming off a bye week.
They're coming off of a bye as well, and then before that, obviously losing that 12-10 Monday night game to Chicago.
Yeah, and the Las Vegas Raiders.
I think they're coming off of a bye.
Yeah, but before that, the Raiders
they
laid
had a lead. They had a 14-0 lead against
the Chiefs,
but then just completely fell apart.
That's right. That was a red zone reaction too. I could not believe that they blew that lead.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Josh Dobbs versus Aiden O'Connell. Oh man, they're both these teams starting to look pretty bad though, but I gotta give the edge to Minnesota though. Give me the Vikings to go to Allegiant and go into Vegas and walk out with a win. Give me the Vikings.
Yeah, give me the Vikings. I think they break their little mini 2-game losing streak and stay in the wild card race in the NFC.
Yeah.
The Raiders have been a huge disappointment this year.
Big time. And they fired Josh McDaniels mid-season, which tells you just how bad it is.
One of the most disappointing teams, in my opinion.
Oh, by far and away. All right. AFC West rivalry in LA. We got the Denver Broncos going to Los Angeles to take on the LA Chargers. Chargers barely squeaking out a 6-0 win against the New England Patriots, and the Denver Broncos almost coming back, but ultimately falling short 22-17 to the Houston Texans. But, Russell Wilson and that Broncos, granted that the winning streak, it was a great winning streak, came to an end, but, they're looking good still. They got nothing to hold their heads down on after that tough loss, though. I think they're still in the mix to try to get a potential wild card spot in the AFC. We'll see how it goes. Chargers, I don't get why they haven't fired Brandon Staley yet.
Yeah, I don't know. That was such an ugly win against New England.
Yeah. Give me the Broncos to bounce back and hand the Chargers another loss. Maybe that finally gets it done to get the Chargers enough evidence to finally fire him. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos to bounce back as well. I just favor them a little bit more than the Chargers. The Chargers, again, are another team that's one of the most disappointing teams in the league this year. They should be better than 5-7 with that roster.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Buffalo Bills going to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Buffalo Bills are coming off of their bye week after choking that game in overtime against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Kansas City Chiefs lost on Sunday Night Football to the Green Bay Packers. That was such a surprise. What has been up with Kansas City, man? The defending Super Bowl champs. We feel like are the Chiefs on a Super Bowl hangover?
Yeah, there's just something off with them. right now. They just don't look like the same team.
I'm starting to have my doubts about the Chiefs. I don't think they can go back to the Super Bowl this year if it keeps going
No,
like that and the way it's looking. I don't see KC getting back to the Super Bowl.
no.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Bills to go into Arrowhead and get a win over there in Arrowhead. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills.
You know what? I'm gonna actually roll the dice, and I'm gonna actually go with Buffalo as well. A desperate Buffalo team to get the job done. I'm just not a believer in the Chiefs right now.
No, neither am
No,
I.
I definitely could. We definitely both could be wrong because the Chiefs are gonna be pissed.
Oh
And they're
yeah.
gonna want to start to turn things around.
Oh,
But man, the Buffalo's a desperate team right now. Their playoff hopes are pretty much on life support.
pretty much. I mean, I still can't believe the Chiefs lost to Jordan Love and the Packers though. That was a shock. That shocked me.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm just not a believer in the Chiefs right now.
Neither am I, man. All right, up next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles going to Dallas, take on the Cowboys. Eagles got smacked at home by the San Francisco 49ers, so the Niners got a little bit of revenge, but we'll see if that could be a potential playoff rematch later on. We'll see. I mean, granted, Eagles are missing Dallas Goedert right now, too. And then the Dallas Cowboys, obviously, you saw what happened Thursday night. Tough battle against us. I can't believe we were able to still give them a good fight, but they shredded our defense, especially with CeeDee Lamb and freaking Ferguson, the tight end. Ultimately was able to pull it off at the end, that 41-35 game. Oh, yeah, man, now a lot's on the line. NFC East on the line here for first place and to try to stay in that playoff race for the Eagles. 1 seed on the line too, granted, because they lost to the 49ers, but they still ultimately hold the 1 seed because it was only their second loss of the year. Question is, are they going to start getting some of their guys healthy though too? We'll see. I mean, they had a tough matchup last time when they played the Cowboys too. It was a close battle, almost blew it, but we'll see how Dallas comes in fire on this one. But with the way that we shredded their defense last week, I got to give the edge to Philadelphia. They're going to be going in this game pissed off after letting San Francisco just roll them in their house. I'm going to take the Eagles to bounce back.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles to bounce back and get the sweep and maintain their lead for home field in the NFC East or for home field in the NFC, and then also to maintain their lead in the NFC East.
Yeah. Ooh, and then last but not least, we got 2 Monday Night Football games this week. Surprise, surprise. First, Monday Night Football game 1. We got the Green Bay Packers going to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. The Packers just pulled off a big upset win against the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants last week.
They were on a bye.
They were on a bye week, but before that, they were in that crazy game against the New England Patriots. The toilet bowl of the year. The
absolute toilet bowl of the year.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's particularly close.
No, it's not. It was the toilet bowl of the year, and they
lived up to it.
It definitely lived up to it. I could not believe we were live on Red Zone. Thank God that game didn't go to overtime. The Giants were fortunate enough to get that win over the Patriots, but my God, that game was so bad.
35-yard field goal.
Yeah, that game was so bad.
Ugh.
Yeah. Give me the Packers to just go in and roll the Giants. Jordan Love should roll them with ease. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, give me the Packers to keep it rolling. They've been playing good for about a month now.
Yeah. All right. And last but not least, we got the Tennessee Titans going to Miami to take on the Dolphins. The Titans in that tight game against the Indianapolis Colts ultimately fell short at home to the Indianapolis Colts, and the Dolphins just absolutely rolled the Washington Commanders. Tyreek Hill had himself a game. He went off 2 big touchdown catches, and he was just absolutely gone. He's like, me, absolute and gone. Me, meep, and gone. The Roadrunner, as Chris Berman would say. Dolphins are rolling on top of the AFC East, and I think they're definitely going to win. Right now, the Dolphins hold the number 1 seed in the AFC right now. Wouldn't be surprised
if that stopped them.
Yeah. Give me the Dolphins, lock of the week.
Yeah, give me the Dolphins, and you know what? Lock it up.
Yep. Lock of the week. The Dolphins again. They definitely lived up to the lock last week over the Commanders for sure.
And I expect them to do it again.
By far and away. All right. And there you have it. Those are our picks for week 14. Drop your picks in the comments down below, and we will catch you later. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. And as always, go Seahawks.